Hi, I'm Sean Maguire, and you're listening to Once Upon a Podcast.
Hey there, Oncers. This is Once Upon a Podcast. I'm Amanda, and this is an interview with Sean Maguire, who, of course, plays Robin Hood on Once Upon a Time. I caught up with him a few days ago. He's currently in Vancouver, busy working on Once Upon a Time Season 4, which obviously we're all really excited for. I asked him a couple of serious questions about his role, and also a couple of questions Brittany made me promise to ask, which, well, I think you'll really appreciate those. So let's go. Here's the interview. First of all, we know you're back in Canada and you're working on Once Upon a Time. You're filming it right now. So what are some of your favorite things to do in Vancouver in your free time?
Well, just hang out with some of the cast. Vancouver's gorgeous, especially in this weather, going down to the water and hanging out, going up to Whistler and just Capilano Suspension Bridge. There's like a million things to kind of do. I mean, some of the cast and I have gone go-karting, which is fun.
Oh, nice.
Except Josh always wins. There's just loads. I mean, really, it's just kind of everyone's pretty much a tight-knit family here. So there's a lot of just hanging out and going and having dinner together and things like that,
That sounds like a lot of fun. Do you enjoy hiking up at Whistler?
I do actually, yeah. And I've been in LA for 15 years, and it's one of those things that you quickly become adapted to, that it's a common thing to go hiking. I thought it was an alien idea to me when I first moved over, but in LA or here, there's just so many beautiful places to hike. It's nicer than going to the gym.
Yes, exactly. I saw that you're also a musician, so will we ever see you do any concerts or any sort of, music type endeavors in the near future?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I'm not really a musician. I did make albums and stuff back in the 90s, but I didn't play then. I learned to play guitar for a movie I did a couple of years ago called Songs for Amy. And I just enjoy it for the sake of, making music for the fun of it, and playing with friends. I don't really have any intention to record anything unless it's, for the soundtrack for Songs for Amy. If another movie comes up or a play, then I would be happy to do it. But I don't really have any interest in sort of becoming a recording artist per se.
Okay, great. Well, you're certainly doing a great job as Robin Hood. I know a lot of Once Upon a Time fans are really happy with your character, but has the experience of playing Robin Hood taught you anything about yourself in any way?
I mean, you learn every day as an actor on any job that you're on. As far as the characteristics of Robin Hood and myself, I think it's stuff that somebody should know at my age, just about he's a very loyal guy and a sort of a man of his word. I'm not a father yet, but he's a very good father. There are definitely qualities that I would wish to emulate. But as far as sort of taught me, I think it's more just reminding yourself of values that are important and having a strong ethical code. So I suppose playing him is a reminder of those sort of elements.
Wonderful. Yeah, he's certainly a classic character to take on, and there's always some sort of moral story with these Once Upon a Time stories. Now, speaking of the fans again, this is the first summer you've done a convention tour for Once Upon a Time. What's it like being surrounded by so many people who are so passionate about Robin Hood?
It's lovely to be around people that are just passionate about the show, full stop, really. It was an amazing experience. The conventions that I went to were sort of overwhelming in the sense that, when we make the show, it's just you and the cast and the crew, and it gets recorded into the camera, and you shoot the scene and you move on, and you forget how big and how wide the audience is for a show like this. And to go to the convention, actually meet the people that are fans of the show and are passionate about the show, it was a really wonderful experience because, as I say, you can forget the fans and how passionate they are and how much it means to them it was just lovely, and they were just so gracious and generous and sweet that it really reminded me of how big the audience is and in how many countries, and it was just very touching. It was really, really, if anything, it's really, not that I needed it, but just really re-galvanized my feeling about, what a great show this is to be on.
Speaking, again, of the show, now, Robin Hood is... Well, we saw him last season as in this relationship with Regina, and she's a difficult person to be in a relationship with. Do you think Robin, Hook, and Charming should kind of form a support group for men who are with women who are all like very stubborn and very strong personalities?
Well, it would be a different direction for the show, that's for sure. I think that the show has a very mixed demographic, but it's largely female, and I think that that's probably as a result of the fact that Adam and Eddie have created some incredibly strong, powerful, independent female characters, which I think is great for the female audience, but I think it's just great for the show, and I think it's quite empowering for women, seeing these tough girls kind of doing their thing, and I would imagine there's quite a lot of feminists out there that like the show, because there's not many shows. I mean, there's a couple now, it's getting better, but there's not many shows that really cater to really strong, fiery women, and I think that's a good thing. So I think it's really up to us men just to keep up with them.
Yeah, that's really well put. I know I was certainly drawn into the show because of all of the strong characters, the strong female characters. It's really refreshing to see that on TV. So are there any scenes that you filmed that didn't make the final cut in season 3 that you would have liked to have had in the show?
No, not really. I mean, there's little bits of scenes that get cut in the edit because they're not serving the story or moving the story forward, but that's just a natural part of filming. But I don't think there's ever been a full scene that I've been in that didn't make the cut. But as I say, that if that were to happen, it's because Adam and Eddie have a very clear vision for how the show should go and how the story arc should go. So that's just part and parcel of the process. But no, as far as me and scenes cut so far, I don't think there's been any that's been completely cut.
Okay, all right. So Regina is a complicated woman, like I said earlier, for Robin to fall in love with. But here's a hypothetical question. Do you think Robin could have still fallen in love with Regina if she wasn't capable of light magic and was only capable of her dark magic?
Do you know what? I don't know. I think for me, in terms of how I approach the character and the relationships that he has in it, I think turning points for him were her saving his son. And I think about her opening up about the loss of Henry in the last season. I think that they bonded over that element of being a parent or being a single parent. And I think he also bonded with her over the fact that he can see that she once was somebody and she's in the process of changing into somebody new, somebody better. And Robin has a pretty dark past himself.
Yes.
So I think that they're the elements that, for me as an actor, I attach the relationship to rather than magic. Because I don't think Robin really understands magic. I mean, I'm sure he'd prefer light magic to dark magic for obvious reasons. But I think it's more about the more tangible elements, like being a parent and somebody who was somebody in the past and is on their way to becoming somebody better. I think they're the things that probably appeals to him about her, and the fact that he's a leader and a strong guy, and strong personalities are often attracted to other strong personalities. So I would say that I would have thought they're the more fundamental elements that form the attraction from him to her.
Yes, two strong personalities, I guess, can kind of handle each other, right? What has been your favorite scene to shoot as Robin Hood? I know you've mentioned that the fireplace scene towards the end of last season was one of your favorites, but can you think of others that you've enjoyed?
Yeah, lots, more often than not. It's always fun. It's fun when there's a bunch of us together, when it's Josh and Ginny and Jamie and Lana and me and Colin and sometimes Bobby or sometimes Emily. I like it when there's a scene like we shot last night. There was sort of pretty much all of it in it, because then we all get to hang out in between takes and chat and laugh and enjoy each other's company. So,
Yeah.
I mean, more so about the content of the scene as it's seen in the episode. It's more about, I like it when we're all together as a gang, because we just really enjoy, well, I can't speak for the others, but I really enjoy their company. And the time goes quite quickly on set when you're having fun with very likable people, as they all are.
Oh, yes. Well, that's wonderful. It sounds like you have such great people to work with. Kind of a funny question here. So here's the real question about this upcoming 4th season. Which will Robin choose? Will he choose the new crossbow in Storybrooke, or the old crossbow, bow and arrow he left behind in the Enchanted Forest?
I don't know if I can answer that.
Okay. I guess we'll just have to see. Now, really quickly, we've had a couple of questions sent to us by your fans, and one came to us from David. He asked, which famous archer or superhero would Robin go into battle with? So some possibilities are Katniss from the Hunger Games, Hawkeye, Legolas, Green Arrow, the Pink Power Ranger, or basically any other superhero. Who do you think he would go to battle with?
I think Katniss from the Hunger.
Okay. Yeah.
He likes women. He likes somebody good with a bow. She can handle herself. She's feisty. I think Robin would like her. Plus, I know Jennifer, and she's a really sweet girl, so that would make life easy for me. So, yeah, I think it would be Katniss.
That would be amazing to see the two of them together. That would be so much fun. Now, Brittany jokingly said a few weeks ago on our podcast that she thinks that Robin and Regina were getting pretty close by the fire. And she came up with a very family-friendly way of phrasing this. So here it is. Here's the question. After that scene faded to black at the beginning of second to last episode of the season, was there any frickle-frackle between Regina and Robin? In other words, did they round the bases?
I'm afraid I will have to defer to the writers and producers because I did not see that information written down. So one can only assume what happened after the cameras went away from that scene. But
okay.
That's a question that I feel only Adam and Eddie could truthfully answer you.
Absolutely, of course. And our final question for you is, we actually asked this question of all of our guests on the show. If you could spend one day in a fairy tale or in a Disney movie, which one would you choose?
I'm not quite sure. There's so many to choose from. I don't know. Jungle Book is one of my favorite Disney movies, so maybe Jungle Book, or because a jungle might be fun. Or I don't know why Mary Poppins keeps coming into my head.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a sweet little fairy tale world that they lived in.
That's one of our favorites, is Mary Poppins, so I like that as well. Very nice. Well, you know what? Thank you so much, Sean, for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy schedule to talk with us. And we look forward to seeing everything that happens on season 4. So best wishes, best of luck working on that.
Thank you very much. And please give my love to Brittany, and sorry she couldn't make it.
I will. I'm really sorry it didn't work out. So she says hello, and yeah, she really appreciates everything too. She helped me set this all up. All right. Thank you so much.
No problem. Cheers, darling. Speak to you soon.
Cheers. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Once again, many thanks to Sean for taking the time to talk with me. And thank you all for joining me for the interview. Brittany and I talk about Once Upon a Time every Tuesday during the Once Upon a Time season and every other Tuesday during hiatuses. Be sure to check out our website at ouapodcast.com, Twitter at OnceUponPodcast, and Tumblr at onceUponApodcast.tumblr.com. You'll find us in iTunes. Be sure to hit subscribe, and direct links to subscribe on iTunes or other devices are on our website. Thank you to all who sent in great questions. We got dozens, but our interview time was limited. I also have to express my gratitude to my usual co-host, Brittany. Without her, this interview absolutely would not have even happened, and she came up with a lot of those questions. I really appreciate everything she does. Okay, both of us, Brittany and I, will be back on Tuesday. Until then, and in honor of Sean, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.